नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय उत्तरे श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामे नमस्ते सरस्वती गौरवाणी विचारणे विशेषणाय यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं कारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। हरे कृष्ण। So we are in the 8th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The chapter is entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti. The background is we discussed about the pastime of how the son of Drona, Ashwatthama, with the misadventure of killing the 5 sons of Draupadi, how he ran away, how he was captured by Arjun. Actually, even before he was captured by Arjun, he attempted to kill Arjun with the Brahmastra. He didn't know how to retract the Brahmastra. Krishna ordered Arjun to counteract his Brahmastra and then withdraw both. And then they caught him, dragged him back to Draupadi, and everyone wanted Drona to be killed except for 2. Who are the 2? Draupadi and nobody else. Arjun partly. Yes. Initially he wanted to kill, but later Arjun partly agrees. But Bhimsen and Lord Krishna were quite firm that he deserves to be killed. Eventually a settlement was reached because he was a Brahmana. Certain punishments for certain classes are considered even worse than death. Yes, Krishna explains this in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, sorry, in the 1st chapter itself. Sambhavitasya cha akirtim maranad eva atirichyate. That for a person who is very respected in society, disrespect is worse than death. Correct? Sometimes a person gets caught in a scandalous activity, he gets arrested. Sometimes people go through certain things which apparently will cause their name to be so defamed that they commit suicide because they cannot take it. A person who is Shudra by nature will not bother. He'll enjoy the scandal. Okay, I'm coming on page 3 of the newspaper. Good news, bad news is good news. Okay, popularity is all that matters. Correct? Being in the news is what matters. Vaishya also to some extent bothers, but not a lot. Kshatriya, the name is very important. And Brahmana also name is very important, of course for a different reason. Kshatriya because he is proud in the sense that he has a strong sense of identity. And a Brahman because all his profession depends on his character and his reputation. For a teacher, isn't it? If a person misbehaves, if he is just a businessman, people will not bother so much. If he is the principal of a school, they will be more concerned, correct? So, Brahmanical profession, if he is a spiritual teacher, even more. So, So Brahminical professions expect extraordinary character. So for a Brahmana, being thrown out of the village, being insulted is considered worse than death. So that was the settlement. So Krishna told Arjuna, you must satisfy both parties. So Arjuna understood. See, those who are deeply connected to the Lord with love, the Lord gives them the intelligence. What is it that He wants them to do? The Lord mentions this in the Gita also. Yeah? That dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam payanti. I give them the intelligence by which they can come to me. In the sense that, come to me in the sense that, in what way they will please me. What is the right thing to do? In that way they can come to me. So finally his hair was cut off, the jewel was removed, he was banished. He was also cursed to continue to suffer the sores for a long time. But unfortunately his episode didn't end there. The Pandavas, headed by Yudhishthir, together with Kunti, then Draupadi, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, they all performed the last rites for all the departed souls, including the relatives. And after everything was settled, Krishna was there, this is still Hastinapur, everything was settled. After that, Krishna said, okay, now I think the project has come to close, so it is time to wind up the project. So I have to now depart back to Dwarka. So he comes and he starts meeting all the senior people, taking leave. So of course the Pandavas come, headed by Kunti. Then Vyasadeva comes together with all the Brahmanas. And actually, externally, Krishna is a Kshatriya. So Kshatriya has to worship the Brahmans, not the other way around. But all the Brahmanas headed by Vyasa are actually worshipping Krishna because they know he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna accepts that, but at the same time, very humbly reciprocates with them by externally taking a very humble position in front of them to maintain proper social etiquette. So Krishna is very careful. Krishna is very careful because he knows in the future people will quote him or quote his behavior. Set precedent, right? And Krishna says this precisely. Just see, Krishna is so careful. Even though he is not obliged, he is so careful. In the Bhagavad Gita, which chapter is it, Prabhu? Krishna says, if I do not perform my duty, then the whole world will come to ruination. Chapter 5. Yeah? Okay, chapter 5. So Krishna says, I also perform the duty, not because I am obliged to perform the duty. And he says, what to speak of me? Even those who are liberated souls, even though they have no duty, they generally still perform their duty, just to educate others in terms of how a duty is supposed to be performed. Because this precedent of equating spirituality with not doing duty is a very dangerous precedent. Because it becomes an easy excuse for lazy people to become spiritual. Because all they have to do is, I don't want to do anything. Okay, you just feed me, I am spiritual. So Krishna says no. He says if you are not doing your karma, you cannot even take care of your basic needs. So that is not the way out. That may be the state of a person who has already gone beyond, because he actually has no duty, he has gone beyond. But still, even such people continue to perform their activity most of the times, as long as they are within society. Otherwise, they go off somewhere deep in the Himalayas and they don't interact. So Krishna says, what to speak of? This is not a sadhana. Not doing anything is not a sadhana. It is not a means of elevation. It is that state can be done when one has actually purified himself from all material attachments And by virtue of transcending the modes, one becomes free from all duty. Okay? One must understand duty comes because of modes. Material duty, yeah? I'm not talking about spiritual duty. Spiritual duty is to serve the Lord. Material duties emanate because of the three modes, Sattva, Raja and Tama, correct? Once you become transcendental to the modes, there are no material modes, so there is no material duty remaining. You understand? Only your spiritual duty, which is to serve the Lord, to remember the Lord, to chant, which doesn't need. So one may wonder, in that state, how is the body maintained? Correct? Krishna says, don't worry, that is my problem. Even though you don't work, I will make sure you get the needs for your body. So that is the Lord's arrangement. The Lord's promise is that. So the Lord has all measures to ensure everybody is taken care of nicely. Anyway, so coming back, the sages are worshipping him, and the Lord reciprocates, then the sages go. Then Krishna says, okay, the Pandavas in Kunti, he says bye-bye, I am taking leave, and Krishna turns around and is just about to enter the chariot. We stopped there last time, right? Just as he is about to alight on the chariot, Krishna sees, yeah. Oh, chapter 3 is it? What is which verse? No, that is another verse. That is there. Janastadanuvartate. That is one verse. No, there is another verse. In the 5th chapter, go to chapter 5 and look at the verse where he says that if I were to not perform my prescribed duties, I would lead to ruination of the three worlds. Look for that verse. That's the translation. Yes, go.
Even in chapter 2, and I'm not chapter, it is mentioned that even to maintain our own material self, we have to do something.
Third chapter. Krishna says that. He says when Arjuna asks the question, you just told me that Buddhi Yoga is better than doing your fruitive active. Why are you asking me to engaging me in this ghastly warfare? So Arjuna says Krishna says at that time, who told you that I am telling you not to act? Even to maintain the body you need to act. So my suggestion is not about not acting, my suggestion is to act with detachment and do your activity as a sacrifice, yajna. 3.9 yajñātāt karmano anyatra koyam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. 3.9 he says, and then he goes on expanding that, explains the concept of yajna and so on and so forth. And in 5th chapter the Lord gives the example of Janaka and others, and then he says in the 5th chapter that I also, even though I am free from all duties, being transcendental, I still perform my duties, because if I were not to do it, it would lead to, I would set the wrong example and cause ruination of the world. So Krishna generally will set the right example. Correct, Prabhu? When you find the verse, you tell me. Chapter 5. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna does that. He's about to alight. And then like filmy style. Episode is about to end. Suddenly comes running one character who was not in the scene. Everybody had forgotten about that character. Who's that character? Uttara. Comes running in behind Krishna, calling out to him. So, she says a very beautiful verse. He says, Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyan tvat abhayam pashe yatra mrityu parasparam. Very nice verse. He says, O Lord of Lords, O Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of all mystics, Mahayogin. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. Because nobody else can save from Brahmastra. Brahmastra is Brahmastra is very powerful. Practically no entity within this world can counteract the Brahmastra by their own power. So she comes running, and then she says to the Lord that there is a very powerful, fiery arrow which is rushing towards me. I am fearing not for my own life, but for the descendant of the Kuru dynasty who is in my. Now something interesting about Uttara, something interesting about Uttara. Typically in those days, when the husband departs, the wife also voluntarily gives up her body. So that practice used to be known as Sati. Because that started with Sati entering into the fire. Of course, she didn't enter into the fire because her husband died. She entered into the fire because her husband was insulted. You know that story, right? Sati, the wife of Lord Shiva. She entered into the fire and burnt herself. Because to hear the insult of a great devotee is worse than death. So she said, I deserve to die. So she jumped into the fire. But in this special case, normally Uttara would have done that. But in this special case, Uttara did not do that because she knew she was pregnant, she is carrying the son of Abhimanyu. So obviously it is not the right thing to do. She decides to stay on. So her whole focus was how to protect the child. So she was very, very concerned. And at that time, all the more, because at that point in time, there was no other heir to the whole Kuru dynasty. Everybody else was finished. All the Kauravas died, all the children of the Kauravas died, all the sons of the Pandavas died, all the sons across all the various wives. Arjuna had a few sons from different wives, but I think Babruwan also was killed, right, in the Mahabharata, as far as I remember. The son of Ulupi. I think he also participated in the war, he was also killed. Practically everybody was killed. So only the grandson, Abhimanyu's son, was the only left. And actually, Ashwatthama's whole focus was I want to finish this whole race. So when he targeted the Brahmastra, he was targeting the Pandavas also and also the womb of Uttara. Because he wanted to finish all the male members so that the dynasty comes to an end. So she started praying like this and running towards Krishna. And Krishna is always very affectionate to his devotees, especially those who are surrendered to him. So quickly the Lord took it upon himself to solve her problem. See, the thing is something very interesting for us to learn also. The Lord reciprocates and protects his devotees proportionately to how much they surrender to him. Otherwise, they may still get protected by the arrangements of nature based on their karma. The Lord is a neutral, well-wishing Father of all living entities. So, in that sense, he wishes well. But active intervention, the Lord does in proportion to the devotee's surrender. If the devotee feels himself very dependent on the Lord, then the Lord feels even more responsible to protect the devotee. So the example is given is just like a small child. If you have two children, where is your son today? Camp. Okay. How they allowed camp during coronavirus? Now no gatherings allowed. So we will put this in the news tomorrow. Actually all our offices also, no gatherings. Correct, Prabhu? No travel, no gatherings, no festivals. Bhagavatam class can. Beyond 3 months. Because here we are actually talking about corona. You know? This is about corona. Karuna. You know what is karuna? It's the mercy of the Lord. In Sanskrit, karuna means mercy of the Lord. So we are all talking about Corona. We all on the coronavirus. And we all want to become COVID. You know what is COVID? COVID-19. We all want to be COVID. You know what COVID means in Sanskrit? COVID means one who is very learned. So this is the right place. Govidaha. Govida means very learned. So, the Lord reciprocates proportionately. And there are many instances. Once there's a nice story, there's an anecdote told by some great devotees. Once, Lord Narayan, he was on Anantashesh, lying down, Lord Vishnu on Anantashesh. He and Lakshmi Devi were playing chess. Only two, because there is nobody else. There is no TV also, so they have to play chess. So the Lord and Lakshmi Devi were playing chess, and I think it was chess, whatever, they were playing some game. I think it was chess, whatever. So when they are playing, suddenly in the middle of the game, this happened once in Dwarka also, but anyway, that's another story, but very similar story. So the Lord suddenly got up and started moving away, going out in a hurry. And Lakshmi said, "Oh Lord, what happened? Where are you going? Suddenly, what happened?" No, my devotee is calling me. I have to quickly go. Can't wait. He's calling me very helplessly. I have to rush. I'll be late to fix the problem. Of course, figuratively. Then Lakshmi Devi said, okay. Then within 2 minutes the Lord comes back. And she said, so fast? All done? So the Lord tells her, no, I was on my way to help the devotee. But after calling out for me, after some problem, after some time, he is now using his own means to sort out his own problem. So I realized he doesn't need me, so I came back. Let us continue the game. Something to that effect. You get the idea? The Lord was coming, but then the devotee forgot the Lord and he was doing his own means to solve the problem. And something similar happened even with Draupadi when she was being disrobed. Krishna was about to go from Dwarka, but he was not going because she was still holding on. So only when she fully surrendered, Krishna reciprocated. Okay? Now again, to understand this better, this doesn't mean that we don't do and try anything ourselves, and we just say, okay, if Krishna does it, it's okay. So we go for job interview and say, Krishna will answer the questions. If he doesn't answer, what can I do? Correct? Even my work, Krishna will only do what can I do? No, that is not what it means. If you are like Haridas Thakur, Srivas Thakur, that may actually happen. But we are not there. Okay, so we shouldn't need to act like that. So, what this means is internally we feel dependent on the Lord. Externally we still try our best. But we do not have this ego that I don't need the Lord's help, I can sort this by myself. Okay? That is not the consciousness of devotee. The devotee always feels very dependent. And especially when these are big challenges, when they know that they cannot actually counteract it by their own power. So devotees like the Pandavas, Uttara and others, they are so pure-hearted, they are always reaching out to Krishna for help. And that is why Krishna was always with them. So in case you are wondering why Krishna is not always with me, what is the answer to that question? We are not calling him enough. And sincerely, not just that we call, we have to call him sincerely. In our heart we must feel. And the great Acharya says that one must feel oneself exclusively dependent on Krishna's mercy. If you remember in the Bhagavad Gita, this word is used very often. Ananya. Remember we have discussed this word a few times. Ananya. Ananyaschintayanto mam. Yes? And a few other places the word Ananya is used. What is the meaning of Ananya? No other, without other. Ananyaschintayanto. Exclusively you are taking shelter of me and remembering me. Exclusive. Exclusive means if you can come, you come. Otherwise you can also come and help me. If both of you cannot come, no worries. I have a few other options lined up. That is not a devotee's approach. The great acharyas say that those who are pure devotees of the Lord are not even excited about approaching the devatas for help. They respect the devatas, they worship the devatas, but they are not really interested in even going to the devatas for help. They just want to exclusively stick to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They may go to the devatas to seek help to develop devotion to Krishna. But when it comes to problems, they turn to Krishna. Why is that? Who do you turn to when you have a problem? Yeah, of course, externally we will reach out to whoever to do the needful. That is at an external level. But internally, we always seek the help of the Lord. See, we should understand one thing. Even though it is true that the devatas can help us, one must understand, as devotees of the Lord, who are aspiring pure devotion, as devotees of the Lord, you must understand that even though the pure devotees may provide us a particular help, that help may not necessarily be fully aligned with the way the Lord desires. The Lord may sanction it, may not sanction it, that's His choice. The devotees always, because when Krishna helps his devotees, Krishna also always makes sure that his help is for his devotees is in such a way that it nourishes the devotion of the devotee. Krishna always achieves multiple things when he does one thing. I don't want to use the English equivalent, kill multiple birds with one stone. See how violent the example is. We can't say something more meaningful. Correct? Anyway. So, the devotees of the Lord always rely on the Lord for the help. So, Uttara also came running to Krishna, and Krishna, being very affectionate to his devotees, immediately assessed the situation, understood that Ashwatthama has sent a projectile, which is another Brahmastra weapon, which is targeted towards the Pandavas and Abhimanyu's son. The Lord immediately took up his Sudarshan Chakra to protect. Now, the Pandavas also took out their respective weapons to counteract. So I believe they must have contracted, or Krishna must have, because they were well versed with Brahmastra also. So that is not specifically mentioned, but that part was taken care of. But Uttara did not have any means to directly work on it. So actually, Lord Krishna entered into the womb of Uttara, covered the embryo with his own personal energy, and stopped the Brahmastra with his own personal potency. The Brahmastra cannot be countered by anything material, because it is Brahma Astra. Cannot be countered by anything material. It's like a nuclear weapon. And the beauty of it is much more powerful than a nuclear weapon. And the beauty of it is, it destroys only the target that it is targeted towards. It can have a very limited impact in terms of just destroy. It could have just killed the son of Uttara without affecting Uttara, because it's a subtle weapon. So Krishna actually did that wonderful thing, and it is so amazing because Krishna is standing outside, but Krishna is also protecting her in her womb. So see, the Lord is so amazing. Even though the Lord is there personally in front of us, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham, because the Lord is non-dual. He is there everywhere also, and He is localized also. Correct? If Krishna is in front of us, does it mean He is not in our heart? He is in our heart also. He is in each and every atom also. When Krishna is in this world, does it mean He is not in the murtis? He is in the murtis also. So Krishna can expand and be present in this world in many, many ways. In fact, in the science of devotional service, there are certain descriptions of the different forms of the Lord, how the Lord expands. We are not going to do that today, but there is Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakash, and then there are Prakash and Vilas incarnations of the Lord. So anyway, we will not go into that. All these things are explained in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You can read it there. So the Lord protected Uttara's child, who was to become Parikshit. And interestingly, even though it is not mentioned in this chapter, Parikshit in the womb, he saw Krishna in this beautiful form, protecting and stopping the Brahmastra. You could see. He was not an ordinary soul. To become born in a family of pure devotees and be directly dear to the Supreme Master, not no ordinary soul is going to take birth like that. So he was already a very great devotee. So we should understand those who are born in families of those who are fixed in the service of the Lord in some way, they are very special. Why they are very special? Because that birth itself is very special. Who says so? Who says so? Gaurachandra Das. Who says so? I am repeating, I am not saying so. Yes, Krishna says so in Bhagavad Gita. Atva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam durlabhataram janma idrusham. Yad idrusham, Krishna says. They become born in the family of devotees, and such a birth is very, very rare in this world. He doesn't say to become born to a billionaire is rare. No. Sometimes if you go born to Bill Gates, born to this person, born to the king of UK or queen of UK or whatever, no good. From a spiritual perspective. In fact, I heard recently in UK, the prince and the princess, they gave up royalty and ran away. In material world, everything is a headache. Big position, also headache. Big money, also headache. Big fame, also headache. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama. Krishna Bhakta is without any material desire. He is deeply satisfied in serving the Lord. So what was the question I was asking before this? I forgot, I missed one point. Before I mentioned about UK.
Where is it mentioned there?
Yeah, which you mentioned, right? So Atva Yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam. So those who get that opportunity are very special. Krishna is mentioning. So we should understand that they are very special. That they have got that opportunity because of some connection with spiritual advancement in their past lives. Otherwise it's impossible. See, there are two benefits of being born in a family of those who are working towards pure devotion. Two benefits. One is, from the beginning of your life, you get brought up in that culture and that philosophy and that understanding, and are trained like that. That is one. Second thing is, just by being connected to those who are dear to the Lord, automatically you become very dear to the Lord. Correct? If somebody is your close friend, okay, before marriage, okay, then he meets you after some time, you are already married, you already have a son. You will not say, I don't know this. Who is this small boy? My son. Because your connection to him makes him dear to the other person also automatically, just that connection. So Krishna also looks at it like that. Of course, Krishna is generally affectionate to everybody, but that is his general neutral affection. But Krishna is especially affectionate. Sometimes people are very envious, people are very quick to try to point fingers at the Lord and say, oh, you are. Krishna says, I am not partial. Krishna answers this question in Bhagavad Gita also. Which shloka is that? Where does it say in Bhagavad Gita? I am not partial. Homework. Samoham sarvabhuteshu namaiteshu na priya jante tumam bhaktya. Look up the verse later, okay? But those who worship me with love and devotion, they are always in me and I am in them. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. I am equal to all. I am never partial or envious of anybody. But if you give your heart to me, I will give my heart to you and I will always be with you and you will be with me. So Krishna has put the ball in our court. He is saying, I am equal. You make the move, I am available. You have to make the move. So you cannot blame Krishna. So what we are saying is, what the point that I am trying to make is, when we hear the stories of these great devotees, whether it's Uttara and how much the Lord protected them, loved them, we should not think, oh, the Lord doesn't love me. No. To the extent you are surrendering and approaching the Lord, to the extent you are affectionate to the Lord will be very, very affectionate to you. And those who are practicing devotees, those who are making an effort to serve the Lord reciprocates many times in such ways, very clearly shows that I am actually taking care of you at every step. Sometimes we think that, oh, the Lord will only help us in big problem. But the Lord is so affectionate to his devotees. Many times we get the experience of the Lord is so good that he is taking care of very small things, which perhaps only those who are closest to you will take care for you. Or even they may not. We have seen this on many occasions. And we wonder, oh, why is the Lord so concerned? This is such a small thing, but why is he so going out of his way not to do it like that? It's something amazing. See, that's the way to understand the Lord is actually a person. And he reciprocates very closely, affectionately with his devotees. And very truly, if we take one step towards him, we will take 100 towards us. It's amazing. It's amazing what he does. The beautiful story of Madhavendra Puri in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhavendra Puri just thought, oh, if I can taste that kheer that is offered to the deity, not because he wanted to eat it, but so that I can make something similar for my Gopal. So whatever kheer is offered to Gopinath. And then when he thought like this and then the offering was being made, he suddenly started to think, oh, why am I thinking like this? I shouldn't think like this. I'm thinking of eating the offering has not even been made. Then he forgot about it. But even that small thought, Krishna took notice. Yes, I mean normally we will not take it so, I mean, just okay, so I'm not supposed to think about this. And then we'll go, who's going to remember? But Krishna took it seriously. Oh, my devotee wants to taste the kheer. And he did this beautiful pastime to steal one kheer and hide it behind his dhoti. Of course, the kheer was offered to Krishna only, so in that sense he was not stealing. But he was hiding in the sense he was keeping it aside because he wanted to give it to Madhavendra Puri. Because after the offering is done, all the others were taken out and distributed, right? And Madhavendra Puri was not there. So Krishna kept aside. And then he came in the dream of the Pujari and he said that there is a very great devotee of mine, Madhavendra Puri. He is staying here, and I don't think he told where he stays. He said he is nearby. I have kept one kheer behind my dhoti. I have hidden it. You quickly come to my altar, take it, find him and give it to him. So the Pujari in the middle of the night took bath, changed, went to the altar, saw behind the dhoti, yes, a small pot of kheer was hidden. Then he took that pot, went all over the city, shouting, "Oh Madhavendra Puri, oh Madhavendra Puri, where are you, where are you? You are so fortunate that Gopinath has stolen pot of kheer for you. Come and take this prasad." Finally he finds him and then he explains to him. Madhavendra Puri is crying and crying and crying. Yes. Of course this story became famous and it is in the scriptures. But there are many such experiences that many devotees, even sadhakas have. Maybe the Lord doesn't come to the dream and necessarily make it such a big episode. In this case, the Lord did because he wanted to glorify Madhavendra Puri. But the point is, the Lord is actually so affectionate. You just have a thought, a fleeting thought. You know who's your best friend? A best friend is one who knows what you want even when you don't tell. Correct? Usually only a mother or a wife typically will know this in this world. I can make out that my husband is feeling like eating sweets now. And then she'll bring. And the husband will ask, "Oh, how did you know?" "I know." Yeah, correct? Yeah. Somehow they have a sense of the heart. They know the person closely. So that close connection is there. So it happens. It's very amazing. I'll tell you one small story. I had a very small experience, and there's a reason I'm telling this. I'm not telling this to glorify myself, but I'm telling this to tell that actually the Lord is so affectionate not just to the pure devotees. The Lord is affectionate to all the sadhakas. Once I was doing service to the DTs. This is a small episode. There are many episodes, but some things I cannot tell, some I will tell. So I will tell something which is non-classified. I will declassify it. Classified files I will not open. So I was in the DT kitchen helping with the offering, and all the offering was done, everything was done. And I washed the plates, everything. I was so tired. And I was sitting. I took my plate for prasad, the prasad I took, and I sat in one place, and many people sitting. I sat in one place and I started eating. And I was so tired from the offering that I was just feeling that I actually forgot to take my drink. So I was just sitting. And I was like, oh, but I'm just so tired, I don't know to get up and go anywhere. So I was just thinking like that. in a few minutes, actually not even a minute, probably within a few seconds, some stranger came to me with a drink. He gave me a drink and he said, everybody has a drink, you don't have a drink, so I am giving you a drink. Okay, now some people may say this is a coincidence or that. But I could relate because actually nobody knew, and this kind of things this kind of thing has never happened to me. And there are many such episodes where in your mind you just think and the Lord arranges. Many times you are in a position and you just feel, oh, if only I could get that Mahaprasad. And somehow the Lord will arrange that it comes to you without you making any effort. Because the Lord enjoys doing something to make his devotee happy. He enjoys. See, in this material world, everybody enjoys to make themselves happy. The spiritual principle is everybody enjoys making the other person happy. The devotees want to make Krishna happy, Krishna wants to make the devotees happy. And when the devotees work hard to please Krishna, Krishna works over hard to please the devotee. And even in the smallest ways. And I have seen this hundreds of times, not once or twice, hundreds of times. And in certain ways, to an extent that we cannot even imagine. This is it's just sometimes we feel we don't deserve, too small to deserve such extraordinary blessings of the Lord. But the Lord is sometimes very, very affectionate. So the point is, we should not think that it is not possible for us to have that relationship with the Lord. When we worship the Lord, the deities with love and affection, the Lord also reciprocates. And in that way we can actually feel very close and connected to the Lord. So here in this particular verse, so why we are mentioning this again? Because the Lord is a person. We must treat him like a person. We must develop a relationship with him like a person. I'll tell you one small story. Again, this is not for me. This is not for me. This is our person. No, when we tell what we have experienced, because when we are in that situation, we know how things happen and work. So we can actually sometimes relate. We can see how the Lord registered a particular thinking and how he reciprocated. I think I mentioned this story. One of the very interesting declassified episodes is when I think I told this one. I will repeat it nonetheless. Again, please don't misunderstand. I am not saying this in any way to glorify. I am very, very insignificant. But it is just to show the glorify how the Lord is very reciprocative. Okay. So once when I bought my new car, I went in front of Lord Jagannath. I didn't like that idea. You worship inside the car and you do all this. The rituals. You draw something on top of the car. And you do. I said, this is very artificial. I want to offer the car to the Lord. So I went in front of the Lord. Obviously, I can't take the car in the altar. Nor can I put tulsi on it and ring bell. So I told the pujari, please keep these keys in front of Jagannath. So the pujari kept. And I was standing in front of the Lord and I was just thinking for a few minutes. And then I told the Lord, actually loudly and honestly and sincerely, I told Lord, no fun. What kind of offering is this? Offering you keys. It is so, so only token. Nothing, no fun, right? At least I offer you something to eat, you can eat. I'm just offering you key. So I said, it will make sense to offer this car if I can give you a drive. I actually told this to the Lord. I told Lord, I would like to give you a drive. But I said, how to give you a drive? And then I was laughing, in my mind only. But I said, if I can give you a drive, then I will feel that I have offered it to you. Because that's what we do, right? When we bring something new, we first want to give drive to our parents, whoever we feel, gratitude towards. Then I totally forgot that episode. Of course, I took my key, I took my car, what else I can do? And I continued. In a few days, a devotee calls me and he says, Jagannath is in my home for being painted, and now they have been painted. So we need somebody to take Jagannath from my home to the temple. So can you please bring your car, because your car is a new car, you please bring your car and you can you take the Lord? So I was shocked. He doesn't know anything behind the scene what has happened. Only I know. There is no way this can be a coincidence. Because normally the deities are taken by another devotee. And never ever has anybody called me to take any deities out of the blue. He somehow, the Lord inspired him to call me to say, you take. And you cannot imagine, I am sitting in the car and this is big Jagannath, not the small Jagannath. Jagannath sitting here next to me on the seat with a seat belt. Baldev behind. Subhadra here, all smiling nicely. And I am driving them. And I am thinking, this is so surreal. You understand the word surreal? It's so unreal. Like Jagannath strapped in, yeah, you wanted to take me for a drive, right? Come, I also want to go for a drive. So, and many episodes like this, small and big. And what thought came to my mind is, the Lord took my saying so seriously. See, of course I said in earnest only, I didn't say in a duplicitous way. But what surprised me was, it was not that Lord just, He actually took it at face value seriously. And that is what was very surprising. Really, yeah? Not a bad idea. Okay, we'll come for a drive. So, it is actually a great privilege that the Lord actually listens and reciprocates with our desire to serve Him. If our desire to serve Him is not mixed with any material motivation, you will see the Lord will very quickly reciprocate. Very quickly. This has always been my experience, which means it's not that, oh Lord, you do this for me, then I will do this for you. Not at all. If you just want to say, oh Lord, I just feel I should do like this for you. If you just feel sincerely to offer some sort of a service, the Lord will reciprocate very, very fast. This is very sure. Okay. Anybody wants to share any, Prabhu, Mataji? Anybody wants to share any experience? Prabhu?
I wouldn't know this is the coincidence or is it based on the grace of the Lord. So I think maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, I think one of my wife's cousins, he had a very bad accident. Okay? He had a bad accident and then he was in ICU. So his condition was quite bad and so on. And then I just told my wife that because that day I was doing the Buddhist Seva temple. So usually when I do there is reminder towards the night, usually there will be another person who will come and help. Because to do alone in the night is like you have to remove the physical mean. It's very tiring. So at this particular day, when I was doing my I was also praying to the Lord that make sure that the voice then comes out of the danger and so on. So in my prayers, of course I was thinking of my mind when I was doing the Deva and all. I thought, verse number verse, if you want to help, instead of the other person coming to help me, today as an extra service, I will do all on my own. I didn't pray like that. So when the actual, it exactly happened that the person who was supposed to come and help me, that particular didn't come. And that particular day also, I didn't have my phone. So what I'm trying to say is that after the next day onwards, because this happened on Sunday, after that my wife was told that he was out of danger and so on. So what I'm trying to relate is that I prayed to the Lord that help this boy to come out of the danger. If you wish,
I will do the service by myself.
So it happened. So while I was doing the service, of course it was tough. I really know, the Lord hears my prayers.
Yeah, the Lord listens. That is. Some of these things we will only know ourselves in our own heart, because the Lord will make us understand that He is reciprocating that particular way.
But such kind of things somewhere you won't go and share because you also will know that
some items may be subject to speculation on probability. But in my own experience, of course, even in terms of probability, most of the episodes, even from a probability perspective, it is very, very, very unlikely. But there are some episodes where the Lord, when He really wants to show something really extraordinary, when it is almost miraculous or actually miraculous, the Lord will also give an external indication to confirm that this is not your imagination or hallucination. Because the Lord will usually do that for sadhakas like us. So He will give some clear backing understanding to say, no, this is not your imagination, this is what has happened. So, anyway. So the point is again, devotees in their own lives and experiences. Mataji, you want to share anything? So many. Sick.
And going through the operations and all, a lot of things happen. Things they're supposed to do A, it will turn to B, and it is quite amazing things that the doctors sometimes say, you have to do this operation, and all suddenly the thing will be very small. The doctor herself said, no, I didn't say that. I said, no. Just when you say, the major operation should be done, no, only minor. So when we went to Mayapur and came back, and
just to end at the same point, I'm very sure they have always told us something which is completely different. I mean, regarding the off and on. So we were concerned. So we when we got second opinion, but after that, it was totally different. She said no, I mean, it didn't feel like that. But we are very sure. So we were by the Lord. I mean, mercy.
Definitely. There are many times, even in my own life, many times episodes where something very clearly the Lord showed that you were supposed to go through so much, but He has made it so much. And the Lord clearly shows that He has done it like that. And at one point in time, my own spiritual master told me straight on the face. He said that because you agreed to go through the difficult situation for the pleasure of the Lord has changed the situation for you. From this, He has made it this. That is His grace. He actually told me. So we see that many times. So the Lord is not actually interested in troubling us. The Lord wants us to be willing to accept His mercy the way it comes. When He sees that we are accepting, when we resist, it becomes bigger. The problem becomes bigger when we resist. Why? Because we are not surrendering. Surrendering means not that we have to surrender to the problem, we have to surrender to Krishna. Sometimes when people think surrender means they think I should surrender to the problem. No, not to say, oh, I'm going to die anyway, or something like that is going to happen. No, not like that. We should keep fighting at an external level the way what is necessary to be done. But internally we are taking shelter and surrendering. And when that happens, the Lord always shows that the Lord is the full controller of everything. So He can reset and adjust things in ways which are way beyond our wildest imaginations. We don't have to tell God how to solve a problem. He knows 1,000,001 ways more than what we know. So He will choose whatever is the best way. It was very nice. It's a very sweet adventure when we serve the Lord and we see how in our life He is continuously reciprocating and continuously showing us that He is there. Prabhu, you want to share anything?
I was actually thinking of a question we were discussing on this point. When we face a problem, so externally we say that we should be trying our best to solve that problem, but internally we completely surrender to the Lord and expect or request for His mercy, right? So is this not like duplicity, like that we are asking the sadhaka to be externally fight for it, but internally leave it to the mercy of the Lord?
Actually, that is exactly what Krishna told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, right? He already told Arjuna, I am going to kill everybody. After that, what he told him, but I want you to fight. And I want you to fight well. Without laziness, is there Vigata Choraha. Without laziness, you fight. I will make you successful, but you have to fight. I will give. But he says, when you fight, two things are important. Fight with detachment. Detachment means if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it's okay. Of course, we know we are fighting for kingdom. But don't be attached to the kingdom. One doesn't forget what he is fighting for. Correct? If you're going to a job interview, you know you're going for the job, right? Yeah. But you are detached, whether it comes or it doesn't come. That you leave it to the Lord. Of course, what we want and what we don't want, also we have to put a spiritual filter to see whether what we are wanting also is according to our best intelligence, overall in the scheme of things, good for us materially and spiritually. All that we have to think. But no, the Lord doesn't want us to. Otherwise, what happens is we simply become lazy and we dump the problem on God. God doesn't want us to dump the problem on Him and become lazy. That's why He says, don't be lazy, fight. Don't be lazy, fight. What is the laziness? Krishna, I'm not going to do anything. You have to bring food for me, you have to bring... Then you make God your servant rather than you being servant of God. Yeah? Get me job, get me money, I'm thirsty, get me some water, I'm hungry, bring me some food. No, we don't want to make God our servant. We want to work in such a way that we are trying our best, and why God wants us to do like that is through that action. It's not that God cannot do it or He needs us to do it. First of all, it should not give us the wrong mentality, and second thing is by working with detachment and for the pleasure of the Lord, we purify ourselves. Because even if we are not attached to the fruit, we are attached to the work. That is Karma Yoga, right? Nishkam Karma Yoga is what? Nishkam Karma Yoga is not attached to the fruit but attached to the work. Correct? So that purification from attachment to the work also will gradually come. Through doing Nishkam Karma Yoga, that purification will come, and gradually the only consideration will be pleasure of the Lord. That is at a higher platform. And when one reaches actually a transcendental stage, and then one is always working based on the Lord's pleasure. Whether that requires us to be active or inactive, whatever the case is, one can do that. The Lord has given us intelligence, He has given us senses, He has given us a body to use it. So, the general point is the Lord expects us to do whatever reasonable within our means to maintain our body and protect ourselves. So that must be done. And the Lord, as far as I remember, never has given a different example elsewhere, which I cannot recall. You get the point? So the beauty is we do our part and then we depend on the Lord that, oh Lord, I understand. Even though I am doing, I am not entitled to the fruits. The fruits are based on your pleasure. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have the right to perform the duty, but not to the fruit. Ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phale hetu. Don't be attached to the fruit. Mate sangosta karmani, but also do not be attached to not doing your work. Is exactly the point what you are asking. You work with detachment, but being detached doesn't mean not doing your work. Because not doing your work is actually a sign of laziness for conditioned souls. Okay, those who are actually fully liberated, Krishna is going to arrange everything fine. They have actually transcended. They can do that. We cannot do that. For them, the Lord will actually arrange for food to come. For us, we will simply remain hungry. We may. That again depends on the Lord. But the Lord expects us to do our best, and through that sadhana of doing our best with detachment and for the pleasure of the Lord, actually we make spiritual advancement and always feeling dependent on the Lord. Correct? Okay? So we will stop here. So actually the Lord protects Uttara's womb, and thereafter, after that episode is over, actually Krishna goes into the palaces of Hastinapur. He meets all the other family members, and after saying bye-bye to everybody, he is again just about to leave. At that time, Kunti Maharani speaks. Kunti, Draupadi and the Pandavas, all others are not there. Kunti Maharani offers her prayers, which is actually the main topic of this chapter. Prayers of Queen Kunti. And many where verses in this chapter is the verse which will say, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We say this in the beginning of the bhagavatam, and which I am saying. This verse is from this chapter. This prayer of Queen Kunti. And there are many. Namo Pankajanaabhaya, Namo Pankajamaline, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. Many gems of verses. Vipadasanta tat shashvat tatra chalat guru bhavata darshanam yat syat apunarbhava darshanam. Also from this chapter. We'll discuss the meaning later. These are all very beautiful verses. And like what we said, the prayers are important because prayers reveal the heart of the devotee, how the devotee is relating to the Lord, what he thinks about the Lord, what is his expectation from the Lord, what does he want. Is he saying give? So when we see the heart of the devotee, through the prayers of the devotee, we see the heart of the devotee. What do we see in the heart of the devotee? We see gratitude. We see feeling of dependence. We see their appreciation of the Lord's mercy, kindness, beauty, protection. So all these beautiful qualities come out. So we also understand, oh, this is how I must think. Yeah. That is why great devotees, when they open their mouth, they understand what is inside here. Comes out. Form of beautiful. So if they keep quiet, then we will not know what they are thinking. And we start imagining what they are thinking. So no imagination needed. Everything is explained nicely. Okay? Any other question? Otherwise we will stop here. We came to verse 17. Next week we will do verse 18 onwards, up to 17. Verse 9 to 17. 189 to 187. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Deshaya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Divanam Krishna Deshaya Hare Krishna. I'd like to thank Ravi Prabhu Renuka Mataji for sponsoring the prasad for today. Thank you.